So, what did you miss at Jubilee today? Well, to begin with, this is a little bit awkward. I'm using my cell phone because something's weird with my computer software, which I will figure out, but I don't have time to do that today. So, so I'm doing this on my cell phone. I know you're used to such incredible camera work that this seems so awkward. I know, but my inner Scorsese will just have to lie dormant for now. So, what did you miss? You missed a service full of vision. In fact, we talked about visions. The vision that is the book of Revelation. We talked about the vision that is the psalm where all of creation seems to praise God. Surely that's poetry. That's a vision. That's something imaginative going on. And we talked about Peter's vision, shared in Acts. Peter's vision of a sheet that comes down from the heavens, and there's all sorts of animals, kosher, non-kosher, all that stuff mixed in. We talked about that. We imagined what that has to say to us in 2019, in a time when we are divided. There are those who are in and those who are out, much like Peter contended with, those who were traditionally Jewish and those who weren't faithful enough because they weren't kosher, they weren't following the rules. And how do these people get together? Peter had a vision, and we talked today a little bit about how we respect people with visions, even when we don't see as they do, even when they don't understand. But we also wondered what happens when it's not simple division, when the divisions are so deep as to imagine devastation more than separation. What do we say to those who are feeling destroyed and hurt? And so we went to Revelation. I see a new heaven, I see a new earth. As if John is saying to them, I have a vision not so much of everything coming together so that we're going to be okay, but in fact, such fundamental change that it's a new heaven and it's a new earth, and God's presence is so evident that we need not be afraid of ever being separated from God, of not knowing God's will, because God is present with us so completely that it's as if everything is new, a new heaven, a new earth. So we talked about that today, that new heaven, that new earth, and then we wondered, how is that possible? How can we do that? Is it something we're sitting here waiting for? Are we waiting for that gigantic quilt to come down from heaven, for Peter's vision to become real? Or are we waiting for a new heaven and a new earth and a complete upheaval? Should we hide in the dark and wait? And then we went to the gospel, in which Jesus asked us, told us, commanded us to love one another. If we really want to be known as his followers, if we really want to live into our faith, then we must love one another the way that he has loved us. That's what we talked about today. How we love one another, how we affect change through love. And yeah, it seems impossible, because there are people that it's so hard to love, and there are divisions that just seem so ingrained, so deep, we can't possibly overcome them. And in the early church, those who had kept kosher their whole lives, the circumcised, looked at the Gentiles and went, we're never going to get on with you. And yet, Peter's vision invited them to see that God does want them together, that in fact, all of us are wonderfully, fantastically created. We are all of value, even when we disagree. So, we can do battle against those we disagree, with whom we disagree, and we can fight it out until one of us is standing, although we know that that's an impossible battle. Or we can love one another. And as much as we say that too is an impossible battle, we have a choice. Which impossible battle will we choose? The one that leads to the defeat of one side so the other can win, or the one where we get to see each other, where we get to share visions, where we get to be together? Yeah, they both seem impossible. Which is the best impossible? Because the truth is, and we confess this today, love is almost impossible. The only thing that makes it possible is when we realize that we're not in this alone. The truth is, My love, your love won't change the world, but our love might. And our love with God's love will. So today we shared visions, we dreamed dreams, we wondered a little bit about our privilege, about our special perspective, and about the perspective of others, and how we might learn to share our dreams, to share our visions, how we might actually love ourselves into transformation. Yeah, that's what we did today. And we had some great music. And even better, Reverend Ann was back today. So the band's back together after 8-month maternity leave. It's just so good to have the team back together, and so good to have everybody here today. And the one thing we missed was you. So hopefully we'll get to see you soon. Hopefully we will be all together. But until we are, choose your impossible battle wisely. Choose love. It's well endorsed. And by the way, my eyebrows look absolutely scary in this camera. Till we see you again. God bless.